Okay, we're gonna start Pei Hey.
Was it Pei Hey?
Pei Hey. I'm at Bais. And yesterday we got up to Bais. We're talking about wheat that had worms in it. Bais Hikdishin Mahu Shiel Kalim Shim Balmum.
Where are we, Rabbi? Before the Mishnah?
Before the Mishnah. It's about 8 lines up before the Mishnah. Bais.
Okay.
It's as if, there's a rule that if someone sanctifies an animal as a sacrifice that has a blemish, so the Gemara Tumur says he violates 5 prohibitions. So the question here is, if someone sanctifies this flour that has worms in it, does he violate the same prohibitions that he would if it would have been an animal, because it's considered like a balmum? So, Maushi Yokalim Mishum Balmum. Should he get lashes because he sanctified a balmum, given the pasul kebalmum dami? Since it's pasul, it's just like a balmum. My dilma ain't balmum el bebehema. And maybe that verse only applies to an animal. Teku.
So the question, I'm sorry, 8. You're asking if there's 8 lavs?
No, if there's 5.
5. I'm sorry.
I don't know if the Gemara is thinking that all 5 will apply, because it could be some of them are specific. They have to do with zrika and when it's a balmum. But whatever the case is, there is a prohibition of sanctifying it when it's a balmum. Tanan Hassam was taught over there. Where's over there? In Midas. It says, Kol Eichnim Subaitilas Pasul, any piece of wood that has in it a worm, it's pasul for the Mizbeach. Amar Shmuel, Pasul Gabizmech. Amar Shmuel, Shmuel says, Leishanu El Alach. That's only if the wood is moist. Aval Yavish Gairei V'Kasha. But if the wood is dry, then you can just scrape out the worm. Around 85, yeah. And it's kosher. By Rav has a question like Deishumahu. What would be if he sanctifies this wood? There's different interpretations in the commentaries. If it means if he sanctifies it as a wood offering, or if he just gives it to the temple to burn under the other karbanos, atzei maracha. Whatever the case is, Rabbi's question is: should he get malchus because he sanctified a balmum, given the pasul kebalmum dami? Since it's pasul, because it has a worm in it, it's like a balmum. My dilma in balmum ela bebehema. And maybe a balmum, that prohibition of sanctifying a balmum is only by animals. Tekus. It leaves it as a question. Okay, this is a very famous piece, as you'll see in the Mishnah afterwards. Okay, the Mishnah says Takaya, the area of Takaya is alpha l'shemen. That's the best of the oil. Alpha is like alpha beta, like aleph base.
Grade A.
The grade
The
A.
first that comes out. What does Tekoa mean?
Tekoa is an area. It's a city.
Where?
There's actually 2 of them.
Oh,
one is in Yehuda and one is in the Glil. It must be in Yehuda. Well, whatever the case is, we're going to see later that it's in the area of Asher, which sounds like it's in the Galil. It's in the north, right?
In the gate. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool.
Abashal Aimer Shniel Regev Be'Iver Yardin. The second best place for oil is in Regev, which is across the Jordan. Kol haratzasay ksheris. All the lands were kosher, elamikan hayamivian, but from here they would bring. Ein mivian leim mibes azvalim, but they don't bring from a field that needs to be fertilized. 2 possibilities: either because you won't put in enough fertilizer, or because it could lose its flavor from the fertilizer. Leim mibes ashlachim, not from fields that need to be watered, because you may not get enough water, and and not from trees that have things that are growing in between them, not from olive trees that have, because that could take away the nutrients from the tree. Maybe kosher, but if you bring from these, it's still kosher. Ein mevian anpaktan. You can't bring this anpaktan type of oil. The Gemara is going to explain what it is, but apparently it has so strong that it can remove hair from the body.
Whoa.
Rabbi, what was it again with the oil?
If it could grow hair on the head, then we would have that.
Yeah. So in other words, he says the first one, right? I'm just wondering, like, so in other words, is there any oil that's not considered good?
This one here.
I'm saying,
Here we say vim heavy kosher, but we'll see. The Gemara is going to bring it up.
Okay.
Possibly it's possible as well. Ein miviyim in a gargarin shenosh b'mayim. You can't bring if the olives are soaked in water. Lemin akvashim, it can't be pickled. Lemin shlukim, it can't be boiled. Vim heavy, if you bring them, those are possible. Gemara says v'yishlach yoyav takoyav yikach mam isha chachama. What happened was, the story with Amnon and Tamar. So Amnon rapes Tamar, and then Avshalom, who is Tamar's sister, wants to kill Amnon, and he does have Amnon killed. And then the father's very upset and he runs away, and Avshalom runs away, and David misses Avshalom, and he would want him to come back, but it's like, anyway, Yoav sets up this sort of trick where he has this woman as an actress. She comes into David, she says, my husband died and I only have 2 sons, and one of them killed a brother, and now the people of my city want to kill my only son because he killed his brother. I'm going to be left with no one, and my husband has no one left, as an inheritance or whatever. So David says, no, I'll protect him. And then she says, aha, so Avshalom killed Amnon, and for me you're going to protect, and what about Avshalom? He says, is Yoav behind this? She says, yes, Yoav is behind this. He's right here, and he set this all up. So,
wow.
So that's the story of it in Shmuel.
Wow.
So
It's not the first time they tricked David.
Oh yeah. So it's interesting how they have to play it out for this to, it has to be a scene for it to. It can't just be like a logical conversation.
Right.
So it's like they did a movie, a play. So over here it says that Yoav sent to Tekaya, and he found over there a woman that's very wise. We're talking about an actress. That's someone that could make up the story that her husband died and that one killed the other, and she fell on the floor crying, and the whole thing. Maishna Tekaya.
Most women do that.
That they can act like this? Maybe today there's more oil. Maishna Tekaya, why specifically from Tekaya? Because they have olive oil, so they're more wise. You follow?
Yeah, because they have.
What are you going to have for breakfast today? Okay. Taner Rabbanan. Starting a brisa. Tevel b'shemen raglai. He'll dip his feet in oil. Zeh chelkei shel Asher. This is the portion of Asher. Shemoishech shemen kamayan. That it draws oil like a spring. Amr, they said, Pamachas nitzuchu anshe ludke b'shemen. It's one time the people of Ludka needed oil. Midolhem pulmustas echad. They got the type of porter, a guy like a truck driver, a non-Jewish guy that could import this. Amr lai, they told this pulmustas, Leich v'havi lanu shemen b'mei ribay. Go bring us oil. Mei ribay is 110,000, a million barrels of oil. Halach liYerushalayim. So he went to Jerusalem. Amr lai lech letzur. Go check in Tzur if they have. Halach letzur. Amr lai lech legush chalav. He went to Tzur. They told him, go to Gush Chalav. Halach legush chalav. Amr lai lech etzel pliny. Go to this fellow in such and such a field. They found that he was digging up the soil around the roots of the trees, which is healthy for the trees. That's a worker's job. Do you have 1,000,000 barrels of oil? Amalei Hamtin Liad Shasayim Malachti. Wait, I'm busy working. Looks like a regular worker. Hamtin Ad Shasiyim Malachti. They wait until he finishes his work. So when he's finished, he puts his tools over his shoulder. Masakal means he's lifting up the stones from the field. He's cleaning out the field as he's walking. So, do you have 1,000,000 barrels of oil? Apparently, the Jews are just making a joke out of me because this is just a regular worker, blue collar. When he reaches the city, so the maidservant brings out a pitcher of hot, something hot. He washes his hands in it. They bring out a bowl of gold, Malay Hashem, and it's filled with oil. He dips his hands and his feet in it. To fulfill the verse that he dips his feet in oil. Doesn't say why he dipped his hands in. After he eats and he drinks, he goes and he measures for him 1,000,000 barrels of oil. He says, do you need any more? So I do actually. But I didn't bring money for that. If you want to take, so kach you can take. I'll go with you. And I'll help you bring it. I'll get the money from the city and I'll come back. He did another 18 10,000s. Right? Is that 180?
Riboy is
Riboy is 10,000.
10,000. He has 180,000.
So Amalai, this man didn't leave a horse, a mule, a camel, or a donkey in the land of Israel that he didn't hire to bring all of this. He came to his city. The people of the city came out to praise him. Amalehem, don't praise me. It's the person that came with me. He had to measure this out. Very nice, and he even lent me another 180,000. Very interesting pasuk in Mishlei, that there are some people that make themselves appear to be wealthy, but they really have nothing. And there are some people that make themselves appear to be poor, but they really have a huge amount. And it's referring to this person that was working as a regular laborer, and meanwhile he had all this oil. He was wealthy from oil.
Wow.
Okay. This misash, the word misasher is a very interesting word, because misasher is a hispal. Now, it's impossible to make yourself look wealthy. Misasher means to make yourself wealthy. You can't make yourself wealthy. Either you have the money or you don't. So the word means that you make yourself appear to be wealthy. That's what the word means. That's why in the pasuk of it, Rabbi me'ameharetz misyahadim, after the story of Esther with the war, many people from the land misyahadim could be converted. Misyahadim, they became Jewish, but it could also mean, based on this word, misasher, they appear to.
Oh, they appear to convert.
They made themselves act like Jewish. They started to act like they're Jewish. And as misasher, this term of the hispal form could sometimes be just to appear like that.
Like the Erev.
That's why I wanted to say mispalo.
So like the Erev, no? Didn't say that what they do?
Right.
The Erev?
What do you mean? Just it looks like we're davening?
Yeah. Okay, ein mevi and lemi beis hazvalim.
Stamdin.
You can't bring oil from beis hazvalim. From a field that's fertilized. or that needs to be fertilized. But okay, actually, you need to have a bechulu here, because it goes on and it says.
Is that pasuk?
No, it's the wrong quote from the Mishnah. What the Mishnah really wants to say, what the Gemara really wants to quote, is Ein Mevi'in an Paktan B'mhevi Kosher. You can't bring this type of oil that we said is like a very potent oil. But Tanya Ein Mevi'in an Paktan. But we have a brayso that says you're not allowed to use this oil. And Vimhevi Pasal. And if you bring it, it's Pasal. And the Mishnah says Vimhevi Kasher. So, Vipnei Shu Sraf. Because Sraf means that it's a sap. Or it doesn't consider it real oil. What it's referring to here is that the olive didn't ripen enough. So, fruits that are unripe, they have a toxin in them. So that's why the insects don't eat them. So the insects wait for it to ripen. So it's saying it's not really oil. It didn't ripen enough. It's just a sraf. It's just like a sap of the tree. Rav Yosef le kasha, Harab Chia, Harab Shimon Berebi. There's two opinions. There's Reb Chia and there's Reb Shimon Berebi. Reb Chia zarek le. Reb Chia would of course not eat this. It's not. However, Reb Shimon Berebi metabel bay. Reb Shimon Berebi, he would use it to dip his bread in. I think that's what means metabel bay. What else would it? Yeah, he would dip his bread in it. And the Gemara gives this great sign to remember who did this. V'simancha ashirim mekamtim. The rich, the wealthy are stingy. This is Rabbi, who was so wealthy. Wow. His son is the one that's using this lousy oil for his food.
Wow.
The question is which came first, right? Okay.
They were all Yerush from right now. The Yerusha. What?
No, but I'm saying what came first, the stinginess or the wealth. But it definitely comes together. To be wealthy, you definitely need to value the money.
Right.
You can't, if you don't appreciate it,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
Except for snack.
Right. No, but that's a way of valuing it. Shisha Chadashim B'Shem Amar. This is a quote from the Megillah Esther, where they had the girls that were lining up to meet Achashverosh, for Achashverosh to meet them. They had to spend 6 months in myrrh oil. My Shemin Amar. What is Shemin Amar? Amar of Huna Barchia Amar. Rav Huna Barchia Amar Sitachta. And what is Sitachta? Says that it's Shemin Afarsamin, which the Rashi actually says the word balsam. Afarsamin. No, I saw in the other Rashi. Yeah, Rashi in the top says it's balsam. Okay, Rabbi Yirmiyah bar Amma Shemin Zayis Lehevi Shlish. Rabbi Yirmiyah bar Amma says that it's olive oil, that the olives did not grow a third yet. Tanya Nami Hachi. It was also taught in the Bais. Rabbi Yehuda on Pak Nun. This is we had before on Pak Tun. There's on Pak Nun. Shemin Zayis Lehevi Shlish. Lama Sachanai. So why would they use it? Shemashin Esaseir Madin Esabasar. Because it takes off the hair and it makes the skin soft. It's this very strong.
What is it called in
I
English?
understood.
Anpaka?
Here it says it's balsam oil, but I understood myrrh. Myrrh is like a disinfectant.
Spice, no?
Yeah, but it's used as a disinfectant. And I understood Achashverosh didn't want any. He's living with all these girls. He doesn't want any infections. He had them sit in myrrh for 6 months before.
Oh wow!
I don't know, but that's my own interpretation.
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay.
Well, they use all perfumes and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, that's what they told us as kids, that it was different perfumes.
Right, exactly. Okay, interesting.
Ein Mevi'in it was what do they call that stuff you put on your hands?
Yeah, sanitizer.
Yeah, they have the word that all the kids they have to bring it to school.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
There's another word for it.
what's the word that they call it?
They bring. You
No,
think
that's a company name that they
Purell.
Purell.
Purell. Oh yeah, that's right.
It's Purell.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't bring from the olives that are soaked in water. Taner Rabbanan. Maybe it means olives that need to be soaked in water to get the oil out. You know, soak it. Taner Rabbanan shemen zayis shekavush. Shemen zayis kavush if it was pickled. Shalak if it was boiled. Shari if it was soaked. Shel shmarim, or if it's from the shemarim of the sediment. Shel reach rar, it has a bad smell. La yavi b'm heavy puzzle. You can't bring this oil, and if you bring it, rinse it, I guess. It's puzzle. Boy rabba. Switches, yeah. There must be a. It's the same question that Rava asked before, but here it says. Here it calls him rabba. Hikdei let's say he sanctifies it to the temple. What's the din? Should he get a malchus because he sanctified something that's blemished, just like a karban? The Gemara tomorrow says there's malchus for that. Given the pasuk balmum dami, since it's puzzle, it's like a balmum. Or maybe a balmum is only by an animal and take it. It's the third time we had this question. Okay,
So all these things are teiku. Like, what do we say is teiku already? It's
it's the same question on each one.
right.
It's the same takeoff.
And so it's usher, but the question is whether or not you get makas, right?
Right. And it's puzzle. Right.
I mean, puzzle, right?
The Mishnah says, Shleisha Zeisimim. There's 3 olive harvests. Ubehem, Shleisha Shemanim. And from each one, you can get 3 types of oil. Hazayas Arishan. The first olives, the first harvesting is Megargarai Beresh Hazayas. A gargar is a one olive. Gargar is one olive. Megargarai means that you pluck the olives. The koitish is you crack it, not to press, but you have them cracked, like cracked olives. You put them into the basket. Rabbi Yehuda says no. Svive sasal. You put it around the basket. I guess somehow on the side of the basket, it either means on the side, it means along the sides, not on the bottom, or it means outside the basket if it was a basket of cloth. I think I saw someone says that outside the basket it would drip through a cloth and it would be cleaner. Okay, whatever it is, Rabbi says it doesn't go on the bottom of the basket. Zerishan, that's the best of the best. This is the top olive. It's not even crushed, it's just cracked. Then you put it under a beam. Here you're pressing it. Rabbi Yehuda no, ba'avanim. Rabbi says no, you put it with stones, not with a beam. The beam is going to ruin it. It's going to get dirty. Zesheni. This is the second type of olive oil. Chazer v'tachan. Then you grind up the olives, v'tan, and then you put it under a beam. Zeshlishi. This is the third type. Now, harishan l'menaira v'ashal l'menachos. The first type goes to the menaira. It's interesting. So when
You
it
don't
comes
crush the first one, is that correct?
Right.
You crack it.
Right. You crack it.
Kol days.
Yeah, I believe so. Except by the third type. Except by the third one, we'll see. The better oil is going to the lamps. It's interesting that's what we do.
I mean, that's what we do.
I understand, but you would think like the ones that you're going to eat, you would want to have the better oil to eat, no?
What do you know? The first oil, the first
goes to the menorah.
Why would you think that you should eat it?
Because I'm burning it. I'm not even going to get the best of the.
But you're putting the best
in the menorah.
In the menorah.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
That's fine. I'm just saying that the Kainim never even tasted the best oil.
Why should they? It should go to the menorah.
Yeah, but the menachos is what they would eat.
Taste. I think it's just a matter of clarity.
Oh.
So it's clearer, and then it lights better. The taste is probably the same.
Oh.
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, that's the reason why. Well, practically speaking.
I understand that's
besides
the reason why. I'm
because
just
it's
saying
clear.
that out of all of
Yeah.
this,
Mhm.
okay, we'll see. The Gemara's going to discuss it, touch on it. Hasheni, the second harvest of olives, is not on the top of the tree. Megarga Breish Hagag, it's at the size of the roof. Now we know how tall the olive trees grow, or maybe we know how tall their houses were. The kaitish, and you would crush it. V'naitin teichasal, and you would put it into the basket. Rabbi Yudem Svivis asal. This is very familiar. You put it around the basket. Is that Rishon? This is the second. This is the first of the second harvest.
So they would crush it, and they would put the oil into the basket, right?
They would
Not
put the olives in the
with the
basket.
oil together.
They would crack the olives. They're cracking the olives. They would put it in the basket or around the basket, and they would let the oil drip out.
Okay.
Tayan b'kaira. Then they would put it under the beam, or Rabbi Yehuda says ba'avanim. They would put it under.
Same thing.
Right, it's exactly the same. Zesheni, this is the second one. Chazer v'tacha, and then they would grind it, and they would ta'an, and they would put it under the beam. Zeshlishi, harishon le'menorah v'ashal le'menachos. Interesting. The first one again goes to the menorah, and the rest is for the menachos. Shlishi, the third one, oitnei b'beis habad. They would collect it and put it into the press. Ad sheyilka. What does yilka mean? What it said over here.
It becomes bruised.
It says like it, yeah, like as if it's going rotten. Because it becomes very, very soft. And then umaleyu umenagve b'reish hagag. Then they would lift it up and they would dry it off on the roof. Kaitish, they would crack it, v'naitin teichasal, and they would put it into the basket. So this is the third harvest, but it's really the first press, the first juice that's coming out of it.
Right. Oh.
They just had a little bit of process before they put it into the basket. Rabbi Yehuda says they put it around the basket. Zerishan, Tayin Bakari, you put it under the beam. Rabbi Yehuda Bavanim, it was with stones. Zesheni, this is the second one. Chazer v'tachan, then they grind it. V'taan, they put it under the beam. Zeshlishi, this is the third one. Rishon le'menorah v'ashal le'menachos. Interesting again.
Same.
All of the first press is for the menorah. The rest is for menachos. When they tell you that it's virgin olive oil, I assume they're referring to the first press.
Right.
What's happening today with the olive oil is that the olives are grown in China, and they ship them back to Italy to say bottled in Italy.
Really?
So yeah,
Is that really?
yes, it's Italian bottled olive oil. It's not.
Know that?
Yeah, if you look carefully at the labels, you'll see it's
Wow.
whatever. It's how long can they do that to market it like that until people
I
find
don't
out?
know.
Where'd you
I know some guy in the olive business told me, and
Wow. Has it been doing it for years? They've been doing this? Or is it recent?
I don't know.
Bottled in Italy. That's
Yeah,
it.
it says like bottled in Italy. Yeah. Okay.
That's
You wonder when you look at the prices and you see like this
Start
big range
shorting
of
the
prices.
the oil.
I started suing the company.
They will short them.
The company that
Eventually
was
they'll come
the beer
out.
company. One of the beers that you think, like I think it was Beck's. I think a German beer. It's not.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
they got
made in
sued.
Milwaukee or something.
Yeah. They got sued. No, they have to say like from our German recipe.
German recipe.
Yeah.
Huh. They follow the German. There was a rule on beer that it can only have a certain amount of ingredients. I forget the name of it. It can only have hops, this, and
Okay, so
water.
whatever.
There was a rule.
Yeah.
It was like it was illegal to add in anything. Okay, Ibaylahu. The Gemara has a question. In the beginning of the Mishnah, it says Megargarei b'reisha zayis. What does it really say? Does it say Megargarei tanan or Megalgalei tanan? I can imagine people reciting this by heart and saying, "What was it?" Megalgalei. What's the difference between Megargarei and Megalgalei? Megargarei means that you pull off the clusters.
Well,
Megalgalei means that you hang around with it. you roll with it. That means like you wait until it's ready. Tashma. Come in here. The Tanya, we have this long brisa, but the point of it is that we're going to get which word was the.
What does megargara mean again?
Megargara means you pluck it.
Pluck it. Okay.
Megalgala means that you wait with it. In other words, you wait until you see that it's right. Shemen Zayas, the brisa says, the Tanya was talking in the brisa. Shemen Zayas, Mizese. The olive oil from the olive. Mikan Amru. From here they say. Well, it's referring to that it needs to be full of oil while it's in the olive. That it should come out without crushing, without pressing it. From here they say, Zayas Rishon Megalgalei Bereisha Zayas. You wait until it's fully ripe on the top, till it's like so ripe that the oil is like ready to drip out, oozing out. But and you collect it in the press. And then you grind it. And then you put it into baskets. It's interesting. It has these other details here. You're grinding it. But what comes out is the first. Ton b'kaira. You put it into under the beam. That's the second one. Chazar uparak. What's this? Aleph. You take away the vav. Chazar uparak tachan. You separate it and you grind it again, and then you put it under the beam. Zo shlishi. Harishon lemenaira v'ashar lemenachos. The first is to the menaira. The rest is to the menachos. V'chein zayis sheni. V'zayis shlishi. The same is for the second olives. The second zayis shlishi. What do you do there? Oitnim bebeis habad. You put it into the press at sheyilka until it gets very soft and mushy. Malaresh agag. Bring it up to the roof. Isis come in tomorrow. You make it into the shape of a fig, which means that it's very wide on the bottom. Ad sheyazuva meimav. I guess that way it had a lot of surface, so maybe it could dry out differently. Until the water, the liquid drips out. You collect it into the press. You grind it in a mill. You put it into baskets. From the third harvest, this is the first. Ton Bakari, you put it under the press. Then that's the second one. Parak v'chazar v'tan, you put it under the press again after it's ground. So shlishi arishon l'manayra v'ashar l'menachos. Rabbi Yehuda says lo yatochne b'rechayim. Yehuda says that thing that you said at the beginning about putting it into that they would crush it. They wouldn't crush it.